It's time for the DC Universe to begin anew. And this is the stories that will be coming out of it. Welcome to the Comicstorian channel, where we take some of your favorite trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read them dramatically back to you. All alterations of the panel text and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Infinite Frontier is basically the DC rebirth of 2021. They wanted to give a fresh beginning, a new start. Some of the storylines from Future State will be starting up here and becoming active, and they'll take the best parts, putting them in, and some storylines are going to be brand spanking new. This is basically a series of where is everyone now, so that you understand where your favorite superheroes are and you know what to buy into next. So welcome to the beginning of the brand new DC Universe. The Omniverse stretches out, an infinite frontier of realities. An infinite frontier of possibilities. From out of a glowing ball of light steps Diana, Wonder Woman. It was her love and mercy that saved the multiverse. She looks out over this omniverse, shocked by what she sees, and a voice speaks to her. You are adjusting to a new, grander perspective, Wonder Woman. This is the beginning of everything that will be, the voice tells her. She turns to discover the quintessence standing before her. They tell her that because of her actions, they have stepped into the Omniverse. I was told that I was chosen to ascend. Instead, I saw the future, she tells them. And the Spectre looks down at her, explaining that what she saw was a possible future. It falls on humanity to decide now, he explains. And he tells her that the Source has chosen her to ascend, that the Quintessence has asked her to join their numbers. This multiverse is new and uncharted. You are asked to assist these great beings to chronicle the new order of things. You earned this, Wonder Woman, Spectre tells her. But Diana shakes her head. Though she is honored, she is worried. I was warned that there would be a great cost for restarting the multiverse, of lurking threats that I needed to protect the multiverse from, she explains, and the members of the Quintessence look at each other. They know nothing of a cost, but she refuses to join them if she will leave her friends and family open to attack. We sense no great cost, Diana, but we could provide you the assurance that you need, the Phantom Stranger tells her. And the Spectre floats forward, asking Diana, can I guide you? And she agrees. Together we move as ghosts, witnessing moment to moment as we search for the cost that haunts you, he tells her. And in a flash of light, they are gone. Superman! Someone screams as the Man of Steel arrives, and he stops short, shocked by the destruction that he sees. Great Scott, what happened here? He asks. Superman lands among the crowd, who explain that they were saved by Shazam. Shazam was here, Superman asks, but they shake their heads, explaining that the fire god attacked them and the man with the lightning bolt on his chest saved them. So Shazam, Superman nods, but they hold up their phones, showing images of Black Adam saving them and fighting the monster. Shaz-Adam has been protecting all of us, they explain. The woman smiles and explains that Black Adam is like Superman. Strong, quiet, he helps and then he leaves. And at a crack of lightning, Flash suddenly appears. How did you beat me here and already save the day? He asks, as Superman explains that Black Adam saved everyone, even though Flash isn't exactly convinced. Maybe this is who he wants to be now, Superman says. You think that about everyone, Flash reminds him. I hope that about everyone, Superman tells his friend with a smile. And Spectre and Diana move on. Meanwhile, over at Arkham Asylum, Officer Mahoney continues his rounds, ignoring the villains as they call out to him. He gets over the radio, reporting his check on Bane, but inside of the room, he finds dead guards all over the floor. He raises his rifle, aiming it at the shackled Bane, promising him that he's going to pay. But Bane doesn't move. Mahoney removes his mask, shocked to find the villain's face twisted into a hideous grin. "Oh, screw me," Mahoney whispers. He gets over the radio, shouting that the asylum is in code green. Arkham is under a Joker attack. Bane is dead, he shouts, but no one responds. Elsewhere in Gotham, Barbara oversees her Batgirls on their nightly patrols, pointing them in the directions of crime. Huntress smiles as she watches her friend work. You know, this reminds me of something. I can't put my finger on it. Something about birds? She jokes, and Barbara smiles, explaining that it's good to be overseeing things again. I haven't hung the costume up for good, but I'll be a little more judicious about when I use it. Go a little easier on my spinal injury, she explains. Huntress interrupts her, pointing out a screen that is flashing a code green at Arkham Asylum. No, that doesn't make any sense. Not so soon after the last attack. Elsewhere, Jace Fox and his father sit and play a game of chess when suddenly the door bangs open and Grifter walks in fully armed. "Oh, hey, good, you're not dead. You should both get into the panic room pretty much like right now," he tells them. Lucius looks up asking what happened. "There's a code green at Arkham. They're saying it's a Joker attack." Inside of the asylum, Mahoney is running down the halls, passing all of the bodies of the guards, and he continues to yell into his radio, trying to get everyone's attention. "Stay on the line, I'm on my way," Batman suddenly growls, but with the image moving again, Diana sees her mother, mourning the daughter that she lost. But her mother's prayers are interrupted as the sound of fighting reaches her, and she rushes outside to find Nubia fighting against the other Amazons. "Stop this at once!" Hippolyta shouts, and though the others stop, Nubia stands ready for another attack. We fight to see who the strongest is, the most worthy. We'll find out who among us shall take the mantle of Wonder Woman. The Amazons tell their queen, but Hippolyta looks at them, nodding her agreement and ordering them to follow her. "Who among you will follow my daughter into the eternal silence to prove herself worthy?" she asks, and the Amazons raise their hands as the queen leads them into a dark room. Within this box is the head of Medusa. Only she, whose heart is just, whose mind is not clouded by ambition, will meet its gaze and not find eternal bondage in stone, the queen tells them. As Diana watches, she is shocked, knowing that not even she could survive that. But the Amazons run in fear of the test until only Nubia remains. "Let's get this over with. If I turn the stone, just keep the birds off me," Nubia tells the queen as she reaches into the box. But she opens it to reveal the crown of the queen. Hippolyta explains that she will be the next to enter the world of man, but she requires someone to rule the Amazons. "I intend to find out what business this Yara Flor is up to," Hippolyta explains, as she crowns Nubia, the young woman promising to do her best. The two turn to walk out of the room and the Amazons cheer for their new queen. Meanwhile, over at Boise International Airport, Yara is arguing with her aunt, who is not a fan of her returning to Brazil. She waves to her aunt and uncle as she heads to her flight, not seeing the Amazonian agents hiding in the shadows. The scene shifts again and Diana sees inside of the Justice Society headquarters, as Jade and Obsidian walk in, looking at the round table before them, and they see their father, Alan Scott, standing nearby. He tells his children that he has been walking this earth and fighting for justice far longer than anyone had any right to. Jade doesn't understand what her father is saying, but a tear comes to his eyes. "Todd, is it always this damn awkward to say?" he asks his son. "Yeah, but it's better on the other side," Obsidian tells his father with a smile. Jade still doesn't understand, but Todd pushes his father. "I'm gay," Alan finally tells his children. Jade and Obsidian understand, hugging their father, overjoyed for him. And the scene shifts again. A group of kids aboard a boat. They are the new students of Titan's Tower, and they marvel at the sight of the huge building as one checks their bag for their Red X mask. Again, the scene shifts, and they're in Metropolis. Spectre looking on, believing that this is to be the darkness that Diana fears. "You cannot be serious. That is Superman," Diana says as Spectre motions to Jonathan Kent, the new Superman, but Spectre explains that Jonathan Kent should never be Superman, that he will bring great darkness and evil. But they watch the young man fighting against the Maw, a creature from outside of their time and dimension, and because of this, Superman's powers have no effect on it. Superman saves the soldiers that are under attack by flying towards the monster. He flies into the monster's open mouth, moving through time and space. Spectre is shocked, questioning what the young hero is doing. Showing both wisdom and compassion, Diana explains, as they watch as John moves through time to when the creature was small, before it became trapped in our world. He takes it back through the portal, returning it to its world, releasing it to its own kind, and Superman smiles as he flies back through the portal. Spectre is still not convinced though, promising that Superman should be watched. The scene shifts again and Diana looks away from Oliver and Dinah in a moment of quiet love, and Queen's phone vibrates, but the call is canceled before he can pick it up. "Nah, too soon," Roy whispers to himself as he hangs up, looking at his phone. Dick, Donna, or Jason. "Hey guys, it's Roy. Funny story, I'm totally back from the dead. No idea why. You guys want to hang out?" Roy says to himself and then shakes his head, tossing the phone into the trash. And then Stargirl leaps into the street fighting against King Midas, but her uncle, Pat Dugan, lands hard in his robot suit, crushing the villain. "You should have waited for me. You're late for school," he rumbles at her, and the robot suit launches into the air, carrying Stargirl with him. Arriving at her school, Courtney quickly changes and rushes down the halls, but it doesn't matter since she is stopped by her principal, who demands to know what her excuse for being late is. "The Buick broke down," her father explains, coming in behind her. She thanks him for having her back, but his phone buzzes and Pat stops to answer it. Pat, the soldiers, we need you. Greg, hello? Pat yells after the line goes dead, and Courtney turns asking what's up. A reason to ditch school, Pat tells her, and Courtney smiles. At Arkham, Mahoney has reached the main control room, with Batman explaining that they installed a failsafe that should burn away the Joker toxin. Mahoney nods, typing in the code that Batman gives him. Now get outside, I'm on my way, Batman orders to him. But the guard looks at one of the security monitors, seeing two nurses who have taken shelter in the storage room. They're using oxygen to stay alive, but the fire gets to them. He gasps to Batman, and Mahoney begins to run. He slams open the door, yelling for the nurses to get out of there, but knows that there isn't any time. He grabs them, dragging them out of the room, leaping through a window as the oxygen tanks explode, and he throws them away as the fire rages behind him, engulfing him in the flames. Batman skids to a halt on his motorcycle, seeing the guard slam into the ground. Mahoney! He yells as he rushes forward, and the man lays down, blood gushing from where his arms and legs used to be. The nurses make it out! Mahoney gasps, and Batman turns to see the women telling Mahoney that they're safe. Good. I'm gonna go to sleep now, Batman, Mahoney tells him. The police arrive, yelling for Batman to put his hands up. There are people still alive in that inferno, Batman shouts, but the police don't care. The mayor has ruled that masks aren't welcome in Gotham anymore. Batman stands, and he can see 17 survivors still trapped in Arkham, and he walks towards the blaze. Shoot me if you want to, but I am going to save them, he growls. Meanwhile, out in deep space, Baz turns to Jon Stewart and questions why the Guardians have split him and Jess up. Jon nods, explaining that the mission is important, that they need to protect Kelly while she does a history dive. Yeah, I'm not really getting this whole Teen Lantern thing, Baz says, and Jon explains that they don't know who gave the kid the equivalent of one of their rings. The Guardians want to see her, but she shouldn't be alone when they do it. And then they look through the front port, calling her forward. You're gonna want to see this. Kelly comes forward, her eyes widening at the sight. There you go, Teen Lantern. You only get one first time. Baz tells her with a smile as they look on at the home of the Green Lanterns. Welcome to Oa, Jon says, and the scene shifts again. The Flash runs through the multiverse on the comms with the Hall of Heroes, and President Superman asks Barry if he's accepted their offer to join them, but the speedster tells him that he still needs a little time to think. Suddenly, with a crack-a-coom, Wally stops next to Barry, and Barry explains that the multiverse is growing, that new multiverses are discovered every day, and they already know that there are two powers in the universe, one that they call the Elseworld, and the other is known as Earth Omega. With this new information, my heart tells me that it's time for a change, but one that feels right, Barry tells Wally. He explains that he's been offered a place on Justice Incarnate as the Earth's representative. What about Central City? What about the Justice League? Who will be the Flash? Wally questions, and Barry nods, looking at him. You're Flash now, Wally, he tells him. And Barry tells him that he's been the Flash before, and that's why Barry feels comfortable going through the multiverse, knowing that Wally is protecting their home. He trusts that Wally, even with everything that has happened to him lately, will be able to do this. We'll talk more back home, though. Jay's firing up the grill as we speak. Come on, let's race, Barry shouts as he takes off in a blur. You're on, Wally shouts as he runs after him, and with that, Diana and Spectre continue onward. Are you ready? How do you judge what you have seen? He asks her, and more images of her world flash before her. Heroes and villains alike, friends and foes, combat and rest, all move at once. And finally they arrive at the quintessence once again. Are you satisfied? Spectre asks her, and she tells him yes. Diana stands before the group of all-powerful beings. She's proud of her friends and family and knows that they can take care of themselves, but she still declines the group's offer. You want me to just stay and watch? You showed me so many brave individuals embracing change ahead of them today, she tells Spectre, and then she spins, her shining costume becoming more like her original Wonder Woman uniform. Seeing everyone reminded her of why she first left her island. And now she is leaving another island and must sail into the infinite frontier. Though they are sad to see Diana not join them, they still believe that she will lead them. They will travel to Earth Omega, looking into the dark waste, questioning whether they should have told Diana that they have already imprisoned the great evil that she speaks of. Die! The voice rumbles, and black tendrils snake out and stab through every member of the all-powerful quintessence. All stories lead to me, the last chapter. My power exceeds what it was before the crisis. It is time for the lower beings of creation to remember who they fear in their darkest hours. The new multiverse is infinite, but I am finite. I am final. Darkseid is the end. Darkseid rumbles as he crushes them before him. And there you guys have it, the intro issue to Infinite Frontier, telling the beginnings of all the new stories going on in DC Comics. So now I have a question for all of you viewers right now. For Future State, every Friday we brought you another individual issue of Future State. All of those videos are now going to be broken down into full stories so that you have them in proper order and you can watch them that way. But now with Infinite Frontier, I'm presenting you with the next question. Do you guys want us to do this again? Would you like every Friday I find 3 Infinite Frontier books that I enjoyed and we turn them into a compilation video, and then as they turn into full stories, we convert them into full stories so you can watch them in one sitting? Basically what this will allow us to do is bring you stories faster, but they will be broken up like we did with Future State. So I need you to let me know in the comments down below if you just want us to wait and not do this format anymore, or if you liked this format and you would love to see this continue because you know that eventually they're all going to become full stories. Let me know, and other than that, I'll see you guys next time right here at the Comicstorian channel.